7th of June. Apologise for being late on today. We've had a few technical issues. So, headlines today. Critical SQLI vulnerability found in Fortran File Catalyst workflow application. Chinese cyber spies employ ransomware in attacks for diversion. Google unveils new Chrome Enterprise core features for IT. And Google disrupts more China-linked Dragon Bridge influence operations. So, to the top of the news. A critical security flaw has been disclosed in Fortran File Catalyst workflow that, if left unpatched, could allow an attacker to tamper with the application database. Tracked as CVE 2024-5276, the vulnerability carries a CVSS score of 9.8. It impacts File Catalyst workflows versions 5.1.6, that's build 135 and earlier. It's been addressed in version 5.1.6, build 139. They say an SQL injection vulnerability in Fortran File Catalyst workflow allows an attacker to modify application data, Fortran said in an advisory published on Tuesday. Likely impacts include creation of administrative users and deletion or modification of data in the application database. It also emphasized that successful unauthenticated exploitation requires a workflow system with anonymous access enabled. Alternatively, it can also be abused by an authenticated user. Users who cannot apply the patches immediately can disable the vulnerable servlets, and they are CSV_servlet, PDF_servlet, XML_servlet, and JSON_servlet in the web.xml file located in the Apache Tomcat installation directory as temporary workarounds. Cybersecurity firm Tenable, which reported the flaw on May the 22nd, has since released a proof of concept exploit for the flaw. A user-supplied job ID is used to form the where clause in an SQL query, it said. An anonymous remote attacker can perform SQLI via the job ID parameter in various URL endpoints of the workflow web application. Next, Chinese cyber spies employ ransomware in attacks for diversion. Cyber espionage groups have been using ransomware as a tactic to make attack attribution more challenging. Distract defenders or for a financial reward as a secondary goal to data theft. A joint report from Sentinel Labs and Recorded Futures, their analysts present the case of Channel Gang, a suspected Chinese advanced persistent threat. And they have been using the Cat B ransomware strain in attacks that impact high-profile organizations worldwide. A separate activity cluster uses BestCrypt and Microsoft BitLocker to achieve similar goals, although attribution is not clear. Channel Gang, also known as CamoFei, has targeted government organizations and critical infrastructure entities between 2021 and 2023. The group uses sophisticated techniques to gain initial access for reconnaissance and lateral movement and to exfiltrate sensitive data. In an attack in November 2022, the threat actors targeted the presidency of Brazil and compromised 192 computers. The adversary relied on standard reconnaissance tools to map the networks and to gather information on critical systems. In the last stage of the attack, Channel Gang deployed Cat B ransomware on the network, dropping ransom notes at the beginning of each encrypted file. They provided a Proton mail address for contact and Bitcoin address for payment. And next we have Google disrupts more China-linked Dragon Bridge influence operations. Google continues to disrupt YouTube and Blogger activity associated with the China-linked Dragon Bridge threat actors' long-running influence operations, with over 10,000 instances taken down in the first quarter of this year alone. In 2023, the internet giant disrupted over 65,000 YouTube and Blogger instances linked to Dragon Bridge, with 50,000 other instances taken down in 2022. To date, Google have disrupted over 175,000 Dragon Bridge instances. Also known as Spamouflage Dragon, the threat actor has been active since at least 2019, using a spammy network of thousands of inauthentic accounts on forums, social platforms, and websites to promote narratives in line with China's political interests. In 2022, Mandiant uncovered a largely ineffective Dragon Bridge campaign targeting rare earth mining companies in Australia, Canada, and the United States, which overall saw limited engagement from real individuals. According to a new Google report, Dragon Bridge's overall activity consists of low-quality content that lacks a political message, with only a small fraction of the observed accounts posting about current events and promoting pro-China narratives. These narratives span a wide range of news topics, ranging from elections in Taiwan to the Israel-Hamas war, and include content critical of the US. The content primarily targets Chinese speakers, but some narratives are in English and other languages as well, Google explains. Although the threat actor continued to scale its operation, the activity remained largely ineffective over the past year and a half, with practically no organic engagement from real viewers on the over 57,000 YouTube channels disabled in 2023. Of the over 900,000 videos suspended, over 65% of their videos had fewer than 100 views, and 30% of their videos had 0 views. Despite experimenting with content and producing large amounts of content, Dragon Bridge still does not receive high engagement, Google notes. So, that's all good. That's all fine. I think rather than looking at the impact, because these were low engagement videos and things on YouTube and whatnot, I think the key message here is that Google are taking pretty strong action to deal with this sort of thing. And finally, Google unveils new Chrome Enterprise core features for IT and, of course, security teams. Google on Wednesday unveiled new Chrome Enterprise core features that should make browser management easier and more efficient for IT and security teams. In April, Google announced a general availability of Chrome Enterprise Premium, which provides a wide range of enterprise controls and security capabilities for $6 per user per month. Google is also offering a free version, the Chrome Enterprise Core, which can be used to configure and manage browser policies, settings, apps, and extensions, but lacks advanced security features such as data loss prevention, malware deep scanning, URL filtering, and context-aware access. Google has now announced the introduction of several new features in Chrome Enterprise Core. These features allow administrators to push policies to users who sign in on iOS, deploy new JSON custom configurations from the cloud, manage browsers by groups, easily set up core, obtain crash reports, and delete inactive browsers at scale. So, managing the browser is critical in giving IT and security teams visibility and control over the browser in their environment, especially with more work being done in the browser than ever before, Google said. Research indicates that the number of organizations managing their browser will double in the next 2 years, and by 2030, we expect to see nearly all enterprises managing their browser. One of the recently added features that's important for security teams is Chrome Security Insights, which can be used to enable a one-click security event logging analytics tool, which automatically analyzes sensitive data movement across the organization. All data transfers are scanned against 50 default DLP detectors, scanning for sensitive content and generating insider and data insights reports on activities like users with high content transfer, domains with high content transfer, domain categories with high content transfer, and most common sensitive data types, Google explained. This provides security and IT admins with increased visibility across their fleets and clear insights into what security events are happening and any potential data exfiltration and insider risk threats, the internet giant added. The new crash reports can also be useful to security teams, enabling them to visualize crash event trends and analyze potential browser issues. So that concludes today's daily cyber briefing.